Hello there, everybody. Thank you so much for stopping by for your daily Reiki micro session. We are going to be doing 5 minutes of Reiki, followed by 5 minutes of free for all questions. So, for the Reiki, I am setting the intention for whatever will benefit each of you the most as individuals. If you have something more specific that you would like the Reiki to focus on, feel free to go ahead and adjust that intention. And for those of you who are watching the Reiki session after the broadcast is over, please know that you can still receive that Reiki energy and get just as much benefit from it as those who are here right now. So let's get this Reiki started. So we're starting Reiki at 11:25 here Mountain Time in the United States. That means we'll be finishing up at 30 after the hour. Rena, hello, hello. Freeze. Hey, hey, there's my Scorpio friend. How are you? Spiritual enlightenment. Hello, hello. You're ready for the Reiki. That's more important, huh? Yep, you caught me. I'm here. S. Sand, welcome back. Willie Dog's Mama, welcome back. You're pushing your luck, aren't you, Willie Dog's Mama? Emily, hello, hello. Welcome back, my dear. Sure, go ahead. Tell me about your dream. What are you using it for today? Spiritual enlightenment? Heart chakra again? And the body? There's somebody here who's dealing with some old anger issues. They're letting the Reiki heal some of that up. And I'm not even sure I mean anger. I think I mean rage. Whether that person's here in the live or whether that person is watching later, they're just really sucking up some good Reiki energy to help them get beyond that. You know what I mean? Hello there, Sequoia. Welcome, welcome. We have 3 minutes left of the Reiki. Oh, well, you're in the right place, Freeze. You're healing up something about anger. That's good. Don't be too surprised if you start crying. If you do feel like you need to cry, go ahead and let it out. Crying is actually a nice release. You know, don't stay in crying mode all day, but at least let it out while you're feeling it during the Reiki session. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, if you've already released that spiritual enlightenment, then it's probably not you. This would be something that somebody has sort of held on to and it has become a part of their physical makeup. I do have something going on with the shoulders, actually. That's not the same angry energy, though. That's a much warmer sensation. Gotcha, Rena. Forgiveness does help. Makes us feel lighter. That's a pretty interesting dream, Willie Dog's Mama. Shigaq, hello, hello. Glad to see you here, my dear. There's something in Native American terminology or ideology that has to do with eagles being in direct contact with God or being messengers of God. I would say that what you were having is a spiritual dream. You were dreaming about expanding your spirituality, basically. Right? That's the best we can do is try to have peace. Yep, see? I told you it's a spiritual dream. All right, let's wrap up the Reiki. Let's open up the floor for free-for-all questions and/or cards of the day. Who's going to be first? COD for Emily Ethereal. Oh, I'm so sorry, Freeze. There are some things you don't want to be right about when you're reading, you know? We'll check on that in a second. This is Emily's COD right now. Emily, 2 of Wands showing up in reverse. This just tells me that you have a decision in front of you that you're having a really hard time making, and that whichever way you go is a good choice. Usually in this type of situation, the only reason it's hard to make this decision is because you really want to do both or all of your options, however many there are, but you just don't have the time and energy to do all of them. So you have to give something up, and we don't always like to give up the good stuff, do we? That's your deal right now. La da 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 da. Who's up next? Freeze. Will Freeze receive an internship for NBC Sports? Will Freeze receive an internship for NBC Sports? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Let me see what these cards say. I don't think that you are. Let me just make this short. I don't think that you are. You start off with the Princess of Cups. Definitely you're not the favorite out of whatever they're looking at. And we've got the Four of Cups. This is my pity party card. So this tells me you're not feeling really good. You do have the Hermit. And I think that the Hermit just means, because you see he's got that lamp there and he's looking out over the horizon. I see you looking at, okay, well, what are my other options at this point? And the Hermit also to me talks about, not being in partnership with somebody. You're alone. You're spending time alone. So I don't think you're going to get it. However, there is some good news here. After the Hermit, we have the Two of Wands, and the Two of Wands does talk about multiple good choices. Like no matter what you choose here, you can't make a bad choice because they're all good, kind of like what we were just talking about for Miss Emily. Now, the other thing that we have coming up is the Sun in reverse. With the Sun being in reverse, one of two things is happening here. Actually, I'm going to say both of these things is happening. You're just getting a double hit off of this card because when I can't decide on a meaning, that means both are happening. So what's going on here, Freeze, is that you are going to be happy where you end up going. But I feel like that happiness is going to be a little bit of a process. It's going to take some time for you to find that happiness. And it may be just a matter of getting oriented to, okay, this is how things work around here. This is the normal drill, and finding your mojo in that place. And then the other way that this is coming in is that you're going to be really happy with the people that you work with. Like you're actually going to enjoy their company and feel like you can learn a lot from them and feel like what you're doing is absolutely beneficial and uplifting for yourself. So it's definitely going to be a move forward wherever your internship ends up being. Excuse me, I don't think it's going to be NBC Sports or whichever place that was you asked for. It's not even on my screen anymore right now, but you're going to end up in a place that you're going to be happy that you went there in the long term, but it's just not going to be the place you asked about right now. Okay, so that's for freeze. Let me scroll up and catch where I am on my conversation. Sequoia is up next for a COD. Okay, so Sequoia. All right, Sequoia, you've got the King of Swords showing up in reverse. This is Mr. Grumpy Pants, basically. This is somebody who can be very moody and very hard to please. What made them happy yesterday makes them mad today. They can be manipulative. They don't really care whether they're telling you the truth or not, just so long as you do what they want you to do for them. This is not really a fun person to hang out with, but I do see you interacting with that person. Miss Sequoia, I apologize. Okay, so S. Sand would like to have a MOD. We're going to use one of my mutt rocks for you, Ms. Bernadette. So this is a rock that I just picked up on the mountain. The light's kind of funky, so you can't see that much about it. It does have a lot of actual crystal in it, but it's also mixed with iron and some other stuff. So let's see, Ms. Bernadette's message for today. Ms. Bernadette, this message has to do with, excuse me, let me turn that off. This message has to do with what people tell you about who you are. And this stone is basically saying, don't worry about what other people say about who you are or what you're supposed to be doing or anything like that. But you know yourself much better than they do. And you know your intentions much better than they do. And so don't worry about what they have to say. That's not so important. Stay true to yourself. When you're making decisions, stay true to yourself. What's important to you? What matters to you? What makes you happy? And don't worry about what other people think about your intentions. What they think about your intentions is really meaningless because they don't know your intentions. They don't know your thoughts. Okay, so that's what came through for you. I hope it makes sense, my dear. And that was the timer. So that's the last message of the day, card of the day, or question I'm going to do. Let me go ahead and check down and see what kind of feedback I've got, though. You keep forgetting about the MOD. Let's see. Sugar Q, if you want to ask me that in a one question reading, that is like a perfect type of question for that. That's easy enough to answer. And you can find that under my recorded readings tab on my website. Your hand is numb. Why is your hand numb? You're quite welcome, Miss Emily. That definitely sounds like there's something going on, Ms. Rena. Spirit is always giving us little hints. Yeah, that is quite strange. Did you recognize the house? You're quite welcome, Freeze. You're quite welcome, Sequoia. Sounds like someone you know. That is not my narcissist card, but it doesn't take narcissist off the table. And a lot of times that King of Swords in reverse can have some strong narcissistic tendencies. Not always, but sometimes. Carla Alley. Hey, hey. Glad to see you in the room, and you're welcome. I have a bug crawling on my arm. I have box elder bugs that like to get into my house. I guess because there's so much wood in the house certain times a year, and I just get overrun. You're quite welcome, Spiritual Enlightenment. You're quite welcome. I'm glad it makes sense for you, Bernadette. Right? Have you been to the doctor about it yet, spiritual? You didn't recognize it? The house can represent a couple of things. House can represent family, like your own family, and the house can also represent your own body. So it may be a dream telling you that there's problems in the family, or it may be a dream telling you that there's problems in your body, but something that needs to be paid attention to. Oh, okay. Now, if you've seen the house now, then that could be more of a literal predictive dream. That'll be interesting to see how that shakes out. You're seeing him soon? Good, good. LRKK, glad to see you here. Okay, Raina. See you next time, honey. Yeah, then that may be maybe a more literal dream. I think you want to kind of keep an eye out if that house does have a fire. Then you'll know that it was more of a literal dream. If it doesn't have a fire within the next week or two, then you're kind of know that it's something that you need to take care of in your own home or in your own body. Okay, peace out, spiritual. All right, so thank you everybody for being here, for giving me the thumbs ups, for sharing this video. I do appreciate it all. Everyone have a fantastic, wonderful, thrilling day, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace out, everyone.